Welcome, everyone. I am so excited for today. We are going to be working on the energy of belonging, right? Processing all the trauma, the emotions from times that we have felt that we don't belong. And guys, it's a lot because I've been feeling it for a few days now. Once I set the intention that, hey, this is what I'm going to work on, ideas, thoughts, emotions will just come to me. I was driving to an appointment the other day and I just couldn't stop yawning and I had like tears in my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much like heaviness here. So, just to get started, I just like to invite people to take a nice deep breath. We're going to do inhaling through our nose and exhaling through our mouth. We're going to inhale for the count of 2 and exhale for the count of 4. So 3 nice deep breaths, in for 2 through the nose and out for 4. In for 2, out for 4. And last one. Awesome. So good. This just helps get us kind of connected, grounded, allows us to calm down, start getting out of the fight or flight, the stress from the day, and allows us to be present. Okay. So I want you to think specifically to a time where you have felt that you don't belong, right? Like that you felt alone. Um, you know, my earliest childhood memories would be elementary school, right? All of a sudden I was like in this popular group and didn't even know about, popular kids and not really, and then kind of got the idea of like, oh, there are people that are more liked and stuff. And I was in this popular group, and then next thing you know, like I wasn't. And I was like, wait, what? And so it's honoring the emotions that come up, right, with every situation. Or what about in your neighborhood, or did you move schools and you felt like you were alone and you didn't belong? What about in your religion? Are you like a convert and felt like so scared because there's so much to learn and you felt like maybe you didn't belong? Or maybe you're a sinner who stopped going to church because you don't belong in a church because, you're a sinner or whatever. Even at work, do you feel like you belong? Or, do you feel um, that maybe you don't belong because you're overqualified? Or maybe you're underqualified, right? Does that make sense? So I just want you to think, where have you felt in your life that you don't belong? Whatever it is, just think of that situation. Now, how we heal these situations to where they're just a memory that's no longer triggered with the emotions is we hold space and we honor those emotions. We honor everything that we felt and we choose to let it go, right? We use our agency to choose to release it. So, thinking back to a memory of where you felt maybe you didn't belong, what else comes up, right? Um, so one thing I like to do is if you're new to feeling emotions, right? Because we're taught stuff them, right? Men aren't allowed to cry, right? Man up, men don't cry. Or women, that's you're being too emotional, right? Or that's not safe to cry. It's being too vulnerable, right? So we were taught to stuff our emotions for the most part, right? So, I mean, we know simple ones like sadness and anger, right? But one thing I tell people is you can Google negative emotion charts. This one that I like is the Emotions and Essential Oils wheel. They have like new books and charts like every year. So this one's probably like 4 years old. I bought mine, I believe, on Amazon. If not, you can just Google emotions and essential oils. But this talks about all the oils, has messages in there. It tells you the negative emotions that those oils help you release, as well as positive ones that it helps you to integrate. And so, what I did, as you can see, all these little dots around here, I take a dry erase marker because this is laminated, and I just mark all the ones where I think, oh my gosh, like that could totally be spot on with how you feel. Ironically, probably 90% of these are marked. So, thinking about your situation, right? I'm holding space. So, whatever you need to dump, including any emotions I may not say, you get to choose to let them go. So, I'm going to start yawning like crazy because we're going to shift a ton of stuff. So, thinking back to the situation where you felt you didn't belong, what other emotions come up, right? There's probably some sadness, some anger. What about internal crying? What about feeling rejected, abandoned, alone, right? Scared? There's shock, confusion, right? This can even be issues with your own family or your friends. I just want you to breathe through them. Oh, you can picture inhaling light and truth and exhaling out this pain, right? There's a lot coming up. So I'm just going to read through these. Some are going to trigger you, and some you may feel won't apply to this specific situation that you're thinking of where you felt you don't belong, but just hold space, right? Allow them to process. Um, okay, so we'll just start on this side. So again, I'm just reading off of the negative emotions on the emotions and essential oil wheel to help us identify and release these emotions. So we have an emptiness coming up, a lack, grieving, dejected, feeling unloved. And I want you to tune into your body as I'm reading these. Where do you feel it? Do you feel like a tightness in your chest? Do you feel like a stabbing or a pain in your heart? Do you feel like all of a sudden your back muscles are tightening up? Do you feel like you got a punch to the gut, right? These are just signals from our body as to where these things are stored, right? So honoring where they are, honoring what you feel. If all of a sudden you feel like a tightness in your shoulders or your neck or something, just notice as we continue to yawn and process and you allow these to shift and release, all of a sudden you'll be like, whoa, I feel lighter. I feel more relaxed, right? Because we're letting these heavy emotions go. So tune in your body. It's okay if you're not feeling anything, just kind of be curious as to maybe if you do feel something. So we were at like unloved, a loss, sad, defeated, heavy-hearted, estranged, despairing, regretful, right? Maybe you said something or did something that caused a rift in, the connection and the relationship, and then you regret it, right? For those of you who know like EFT tapping, you're welcome to, do like the tapping points. It's just intention of moving things, right? I just like to just sit here and tap on my sternum. You can do whatever you want that feels comfortable. So just kind of tune into what you want. And you can try a few different places. Like I don't like tapping on my sternum, but I'm fine to tap on my shoulder or my knee or just even my thigh, right? Let this be an experiment, especially if this is new to you, right? Just kind of allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. All right, so we have feeling trapped, feeling tense, controlled, ooh, unfulfilled, ooh, stagnant or stuck, right? Ooh, let's talk about generational burdens. Wow. Guess what, guys? Our ancestors' crap gets passed down. So if you have in your family lines of, people feeling like, they can't trust people, they're alone in this world, life is hard, right? That gets passed down into your energy field. And once you clear their baggage, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, breath of fresh air. Like I feel like a different person because you're healing that generational baggage. You're feeling it and letting it go. You're choosing to say, I'm done and I'm going to move forward and choose something different, right? All right. So honoring any generational burdens. Do you know about people in your family line? What hardships did they feel? What did they suffer and go through? Right? Allowing that to come up. All right, we've got feeling stressed. How many people in your life do you know that feel stressed constantly? Maybe even ourselves included, right? So the stress of it, unappreciated, distant, unsafe. Ugh, feeling lonely, or unprotected, distrusting, fear, limited, guarded, hiding, anxious, damaged, terrified. What feelings did you feel in that situation where you felt like you didn't belong? Were you angry, resentful? Did you suppress your anger? Take a nice deep breath. We've got a lot flowing and we've got some that are holding on to it, a little resistant to let it go. Again, it's your choice. And realize that you can choose to let maybe 20% of it go today, or 80%, or 90%, right? The choice is yours. And it can be as simple as saying, I choose to let this go. I choose to heal from this. I choose to move past this. I choose to move forward, right? It's all a choice. Good job. Another deep breath for me. All right. Honoring the feeling of wounded. You know, when you felt that you didn't belong, how did you feel wounded? Was there a pain in your body? Did your heart hurt? Did you cry? You know, what did you feel? Did you feel like stabbed in the back? That's like a literal energy that I feel often while working on clients. That's why you'll see me like moving because I'm like, we gotta like work that out, right? I'm just helping to shift the energy. I'm just a vessel to help you shift. All right. Was there trauma? Ooh, that's a big one. And this can be trauma physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotional. Did you feel abandoned? Keep breathing through it, friends. Take another deep breath. I've got a lot of my friends and clients on here that are fellow yawners, so I love it because I'm always like, we're all yawning together. And that's okay. You don't have to be a yawner. Just choose to let it go. You'll feel lighter at the end. You'll probably already start to notice that you are feeling things and shifting things. All right. Feeling traumatized, broken. Wow, that's a big one. Disconnected, isolated. Oh, yep, totally yawning. I love it, all my fellow yawners. Oh, good job. Feeling confused, feeling uncertain, um, effort unreceived, right? Did you try to fit in or belong and you just felt invisible, right? Like they didn't even like see you or acknowledge your existence. Guys, I've worked with teenagers like that, like today, you know? It's not fun. Ooh, lots of pain. Pain in my heart, pain in my back. So like stabbing in the back, carrying other people's burdens back there, allowing them to drain our energy, right? To kind of suck the life out of us because we're still connected to them energetically. Ooh, releasing guilty, releasing self-critical, lacking confidence, worthless, self-judgment, self-comparison, powerless, and then even like body judgment, right? So think of when you were rejected. Like that can hurt so bad because we want so much to belong, right? We want to belong in our family, in our friend group, in our neighborhood, at work. We want to have that sense of belonging. But when you're rejected, all of a sudden you're criticizing yourself in your mind. You're like, whoa, there's confusion, there's shock. What did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? Why would they do that? What am I really a bad person? And we spiral down, right? And then we're struggling with anxiety and depression and sadness and hurt and feeling so overwhelmed. Like, how can we even recover? Wow. Can you feel a heaviness in your chest or a thickening feeling in your stomach? Right? Do you feel like a weight on your shoulders? What are you feeling? Take a deep breath. You guys are doing great. Ooh. Wow. Um, that was a lot. What are you noticing? Tune back in with your body. Since we started, what have you felt? Are we crying? Are we allowing it to come up and out? Are we feeling chills, tingling, a sense of like a breath of fresh air, like around your heart or in your chest space? Like, oh, I feel like I can breathe deeper, right? Feeling lighter, feeling more calm, more peaceful, more grounded, more connected, right? What are you feeling? What are you noticing? Yes, so much yawning and relief. I love it. Oh, thank you. I love it. You are welcome to type in the chat what you're experiencing. Um, I would love to hear. Okay, so, all right, I'm feeling, oh, my eyes are faucets, yes. As I shift energy, I like the more I shift, the more my eyes leak. I start, having tears, my nose is running, and I used to just yawn, but the more my energy clears, tightness in my throat, but a lot of releasing in my back. Okay, so we'll talk about that one. Pain in the neck and shoulder, okay. But yeah, the more I shift, the more it's like I fall apart in a good way. It's all on your behalf to process all this. Okay, so throat is honoring the things we have or have not said, things that we held back because we wanted to keep the peace, or things that maybe we said that we probably shouldn't have, right? So that's where you get to have compassion for yourself. Say, now I know better. I'm going to choose to do better, right? And you can honor what's stuck in the throat. How do you process things out of your throat? Well, you can journal it. You can, grab an emotions list. What do I feel? If you need to have conversations that are hard with people, but it's too hard to have, I always write them a letter that you never send and you shred it. You get it all up and out of you. You tell them how hurt you were, how pained, how you felt betrayed and trust was broken and shattered and all this, and then you choose to take a deep breath and let it go and shred the paper or burn it. You know, just yesterday I was telling my group, my weekly group, that I had fire in my throat. Oh my gosh. I found some stuff from an email that I printed a long time ago, and then some other paperwork that I was like a dragon. I was like spitting and spewing flames that were literally stuck in my throat for like 3 hours because I had to get it up and out. And then another wave of yawning would come and I'd think of something else. And it took a while to get those flames out because I was fuming at something that had happened years ago. So we can process them, and sometimes it takes time. Okay, let me check the comments. So yes, a lot of releasing in my back. Pain in the neck and shoulders. Okay, so shoulders are burdens that we're carrying, right? Often it's for other people. If it's the right shoulder, it's men. If it's the left shoulder, it's you and other women. And then pain in the neck, again, if it's on the right side, men, left side, women. If it's in the back, it's things that we've hidden that we don't want people to see. Also, the right side represents moving into the future. So are these burdens, not allowing you and blocking you from moving into the future, or are they burdens that are pulling you to the past, right? So just kind of tune in, ask yourself what burdens you're ready to release. And again, I'm holding space, whatever they are, even if they're not related to belonging, let's shift them, right? Because you don't need to have that physical pain. I can feel both my male and female generational lines. Yeah, so big. Let's see here. I need to see my chat bigger. Hang on. Let's see. So I can feel both my male and female generational lines feels relieved, and yes, wow, shoulders is the burden, right? Oh man, we're always like our shoulders are up here, right? It's like, ow, there's so much. It's like, what can we take off? Is it generational baggage? Is it our baggage? Is it our husbands, our kids, right? Like co-workers, friends, your parents, like, whoa, you carrying their baggage actually doesn't help them. It's like a copy their crap and paste it on you, and now you both feel like crap. So I tell people, watch your boundaries, right? Allow them to go through their burdens, to experience what that is, and be there to help guide and love them and support them, right? But we don't need to carry them with us. So much yawning, eyes are watering. Yes, good job. Now that you say that, the faucets just started. Yeah, I held back so much, especially in high school. Like, allow yourself to cry. It's okay. Yeah, it sucks that your eyes feel all poofy and swollen and painful, but each tear is so much energy being released, right? Allow them to flow, and it's okay. It's okay to feel those feelings, right? The rejection, the feeling alone, abandoned, like those are huge. Feeling betrayed by your best friend or confused as to what the heck you even did, and all of a sudden you're not friends anymore. You're like, is it me? And then we sometimes we do that. We go internally and we beat ourselves up and we're like, oh my gosh, like there must be something horribly wrong with me, right? That doesn't feel good either. So have compassion for yourself. Um, and that saying hurt people. Yeah, they were probably hurt and then they hurt you, right? I fully believe we're gonna see the ripple effect when we get to heaven of when we hurt somebody and then they went and hurt somebody and they went and hurt somebody. But we're also going to see the opposite. We're going to see the times that we smiled at a stranger or said hello, and that ripple effect of positive vibrations being sent out and good deeds into the world. So much freedom coming in. I love it. Yes. And I carry so much on my shoulders. The only reason they're not tight right now is I got massage last week. Yes. Self-care. Good job. So I want you to think now, here's the big deal. Some of us on the call have children. Guess what? They're going through the same things we went through, right? Although I might say that school might be harder, right? Or their friend groups or a sports team. Did you feel rejected or you were the only one that didn't make the team? And then you're trying to go and support your friends, but you feel like you don't belong because you didn't make the team, right? There's so much. So for those of you that have children, I will be sending out the recording and I would give it a day or two for you to fully process everything we did, but then you can go back and play it for your children so they can process, or you can do it on behalf of your child to allow them to process, right? And think about the generational stuff. If we cleared, feeling that they don't belong generationally, that got passed down to you, you've cleared it, your ancestors, but you also clear your children moving forward, right? Now, granted, they're made from two parents, so you've cleared your line, but what about your spouse's line, right? So they may still feel, oh, like they can feel belonging and included now, but maybe not at 100% quite yet, because we've got to clear out your spouse's line too. So work on your children, allow things to shift for them. Oh man. All right, take another deep breath. There's still a little bit that wants to move. What is it that you're holding on to? Is there any resistance of not letting this go? Ooh, ooh. All right, this is what's coming up. Revenge. Dun dun dun. So when we're hurt, think about crazy teenage hormones, right? Like, revenge. I get it. Even, in my age now, yeah, I've felt that energy. But what does that do? It only hurts you and other people. So can you let that go? Can you choose to let it go? Again, using your agency. It's stuck in the back of our necks. It's things we've hidden that we don't want people to see, and that's okay. I'm just giving you awareness and light. It's a pain in your heart too. Can you forgive people? Can you forgive yourself for the way you may have reacted when you felt you didn't belong? Can you choose to let it go? Repentance is just a change. I repent for my part in this. I now choose to see things different. I now choose to do things different, right? Or I'm sorry that I've held on to this burden so long when I could have just let it go. I could have allowed the atonement to work in my life. And now I'm choosing to see how the atonement can work in my life daily. You can do this daily, Write down a situation that's bothering you. What emotions come up? Google, an emotion chart. What comes up? What thoughts? What pains? Again, you can write a letter to their higher self, their spirit, and then just shred it or burn it. Let it go. All right, take another deep breath. All right, we kind of flush our systems. We've shifted a lot of energy. So, in essence, you're kind of a new being right now. You haven't felt this way until right now. So, what are you noticing? Again, that lightness, some tingling, some warmth, a cooling sensation, hope, a spark, some joy, peace, calm, right? Most people are feeling lighter by now, if they've chosen to let things go. You can also watch this multiple times to continue to process through emotions, especially those big, heavy ones, such as like trauma and rejection. The biggest thing is to have new awareness, right? Now that we've shifted, what do you notice moving forward? So the rest of the week, I just want it stewing in the back of your mind. Wow, I let all this stuff go. All this pain of where I felt I didn't belong. But now I'm choosing to see where I do belong. And you'll start to find evidence. Somebody will reach out to you through a text message or a phone call, or you run into somebody at the grocery store and like, oh my gosh, I just love you and I miss you so much. And you're like, what? Like I didn't even know that you like cared about me. So start to notice what happens in your life because your energy is shifted, right? And so people are now going to see you differently. They'll be like, something's different. They may not understand what, and it's very subconscious, right? Because we're always reading energy. You can walk into a room where people just fought and you're like, whoa, something feels off, right? You may not know what, but that's you. We're sensitive beings. We're constantly reading energy. Some are just more sensitive than others. So just kind of be aware what shows up for you this week, right? Okay. So this has been amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to let you know that this is what I do every Tuesday in my group sessions. Every Tuesday we meet and we work through something. This week we're focusing on the heart. Week 1 was all about a lot of hurt, clearing from our heart. We had week 2 just yesterday, and we worked on relationships, especially back from like high school too. We worked on going back to like your father relationships and how that can spill over into relationships with boys going forward. You're so welcome. I'm so glad you loved it. Thanks, friend. But also you can put Heavenly Father in a box, right? Because how my earthly dad is obviously how my Heavenly Father is. So if your earthly dad was absent, then obviously Heavenly Father's absent, right? So be aware of things like that. And if you want help and support shifting your stuff on a weekly basis, join me. It's every Tuesday. The recording will be available. So if you can't make it live, you'll get a recording. It's $25 a week. So come get your stuff shifted, feel better, feel more connected, work through this. This is like therapy, but much better because we get to the root. We heal all the emotions so that now it's just a memory, but there's not that trigger and that pull to go back to like, ouch, right? Okay. Also, I do offer individual sessions too. If you feel like you need to dive deeper into something specific, sign up for a session. You can find everything at sheenawyrick.com. Thank you, friends, so much. Oh, you're magic. I love that. One of my friends always tells me that I'm magic. All right, just scrolling through the comments here. You are so welcome. Thank you, love, joy, peace to you, everyone else. Tuesday sessions are fabulous. Yes, she knows. She's been there. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, what a great Valentine's gift. Yeah, because you're going to show up differently today. You're going to recognize how, you feeling that you didn't belong, you're going to start to notice other people that may feel that and just wrap your arms around them energetically or physically, right? Love people, connect to them. One last thing is, let's see, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. I've had ideas of people I can write letters to. Yes, and let it all go. Yes, absolutely. such a nice, oh, so nice to experience. Thank you for your insight and help. You are so welcome. One last thing is I was reading through, so this comes with like a book, right? The emotions. And I just looked up in the back, they have belonging, and they had three emotions that were part of it, which is community is cedarwood, majorum is connection, and magnolia is compassion. They have beautiful messages inside the book that you can read and have those oils on you, or whatever it is, and be able to process through it. It'll tell you like the negative emotions and the positive emotions to integrate, right? There's so much you can do to help shift energy. But I definitely invite you to come join me for those Tuesday sessions. I'll put the link to my website as well as those group sessions here for you guys to see. All right. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Bye-bye.